This is Government News brought to you by the GCIS.
Making news headlines this hour. NPA's investigating directorate to be strengthened and disaster management teams on alert amid floods. President Cyril Ramaphosa has reiterated his announcement that the investigating directorate within the National Prosecuting Authority will be strengthened in order to increase the fight against corruption. The president addressed the nation through his weekly newsletter on Monday, where he mentioned that over many years, corruption has systematically weakened the state, damaged key institutions, and eroded the country's social fabric. The Constitutional Court has said that corruption is the antithesis of the open, accountable, democratic government required by the Constitution. President Ramaphosa continued and said that working together with other multidisciplinary units such as the Anti-Corruption Task Team, the Fusion Center, and others will strengthen the investigating directorate in its work at the front line in the fight against corruption and state capture. Disaster management teams are on high alert across the country amid the continuing heavy rains that have already resulted in damage, says Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Dr. Nkosana Dlamini-Zuma. The inclement weather in recent days saw vehicles submerged and swept away, trapped homeowners on roofs, and collapsed walls. In a statement, the minister urged communities in affected areas to exercise caution. The National Disaster Management Center is in contact with provincial and local disaster management centers on the ground and are coordinating with all the role players as the heavy downpours continue. Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Dr. Nkosana Dlamini-Zuma has expressed sadness at the untimely passing of Nkosi Zwelakwe Ndaba in the Nkosi Langa Libalele local municipality in KwaZulu-Natal. In a statement, the minister said, "We are shocked and saddened by the senseless killing of Nkosi Ndaba, who was reportedly brutally killed by unknown gunmen at his home last night near Escort." Furthermore, she said, as a department, "We wish to join others from across the country in expressing our condolences to the family of Nkosi, the whole traditional sector communities, and indeed the entire country." Government is urging communities to be cautious when travelling amid the heavy rains that continue to batter many parts of our country. Due to the heavy downpours, many areas are flooded and rivers are overflowing across a number of provinces. The disaster management teams are on high alert across South Africa. The Disaster Management Center is in contact with provincial and local disaster management centers on the ground and coordinating with all the role players. The disaster teams will continue to monitor the situation and give support on an ongoing basis. The public is asked to pay attention to the South African Weather Service's regular updates and warnings as it keeps track of the weather and climate conditions. The government urged all citizens to be vigilant, cautious, and to heed the calls from relevant authorities. And that brings us to the end of the bulletin for this hour. For more government news updates, follow at SAGov News on Twitter. We bring you more government news this afternoon at 4:30.
This bulletin was brought to you by the GCIS, the Pulse of Communication Excellence in Government.